It's also it's a fun thing to stay here for Christmas. When you live here and you stay for the whole holiday of Christmas and stuff, it is weird when you see people come here just for Christmas. I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. I get that it's like a magical New York Christmas. I understand we have a very big tree. I get it. But underneath all that, we're still just New York. You know what I mean? I know the lights are very pretty, but underneath those lights is just regular New York. It's still rats playing dice games, shanking each other when they go sideways. It's very jarring, you know? I don't know. And it's interesting because so much of Christmas is for kids. It's specifically for kids to enjoy, you know? And it's weird because we spend the entire season of Christmas telling kids to do the opposite of what we tell them to do all year. All year we're like, don't talk to strangers. Don't you dare talk to a stranger. If a stranger even approach you, you yell stranger danger. You let them know that they're a stranger to you. And then for the whole month of December, we're like, yeah, go sit in that old motherfucker's lap. No, it's fine. Go. We make them. They don't want to do it sometimes. We're like, no, sit in his, so I can take the picture. Sit in his lap. Be still. Jeez. You know, it's harrowing. I knew a guy one time, okay, this should make me laugh the way it does, but all right, I used to work with a dude, and he would do part-time work as a Santa, but he was a black Santa. It just made me laugh how people would get to the mall and they see him and they want to be cool about it. They try so hard to be cool, but they'd also be like, so is there another mall close by? Oh, I've always felt like there's a lot of stuff around Christmas that I'm bad at, though. Like, I'm bad at wrapping gifts. I'm horrible at it in a way that's demoralizing. You know what I mean? Like, there's no quicker way when you give a gift to look like you can't read than to wrap it poorly. I'll even watch the YouTube video and I'll do all the steps with them, and I feel like there's steps they're not recorded, because then when they get done, they have a perfectly wrapped box, and I got a hexagon that looks terrible. It doesn't matter the gift. You could give the most beautiful gift. You could give someone a golden necklace for Christmas, and if you wrap it bad enough, it's gonna look like you stole it. Like, it's horrible. I use too much tape, I use too much wrapping paper, so all my gifts look like hostages. They're just extra wrapped up, like, It's horrible. I try to give myself, myself gifts sometimes, because I haven't always got the best gifts. There was one year where I'm pretty positive my dad forgot Christmas. Like, don't feel bad, I'm an adult. Just roll with me for the story, okay? So basically, I'm pretty sure he was coming to visit me, and I think he just slid everything that was on his kitchen counter into a bag. Because when he brought me these gifts, they didn't make any sense individually or all together. This was one of the craziest Christmas. Okay, so I'm little, right? And so this man gave me one AA battery. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this at all. So I even asked him, like, so what was the purpose of, and then my dad goes, in life, and I know y'all know my dad, but anytime my dad just started a sentence with, in life, he didn't know what else he was about to say. That was to buy himself some time. So that he was like, in life, you gotta remember who's in charge, so I gave you that battery as a reminder, so you in charge of your life. I'm 11, so you in charge of your life, And I was like, well, most things take 2 AA batteries. And he was like, no, that's part of the lesson, because in life, I can get you started, but I can't always get you there. What's wrong with this man? This dude got me a keychain. Not a Batman keychain, not a Power Ranger keychain. He just got me the ring. Just the keychain. I'm 11. I don't have keys. I don't have any access to anywhere you don't bring me already. So you just got me rusty metal. This is terrible. This man got me a picture frame. Just the frame from Walmart. It still had the white people in it. It had a whole white family in it having a wonderful day. Just at the beach like... Not even a picture of us, just the frame. All right. So I've started to get myself gifts, you know, just to make sure that at least one person is happy with the gift that they got me, and that's me, right? You know, I tried to gift myself something years ago. I was like, all right, let me be vulnerable, let me open up, because I used to be really laid back, and I was starting to get more and more tense every year. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, do something I've never done before. I'm gonna get myself a massage. All right? All my friends that go to spas, they can't say enough good things about it, so let me go ahead and open myself up to a new experience. I am not like a big man. And the person they got to give me my massage was the biggest man. He could have been, he's the biggest man I've been in a room with by myself. I was so upset having to be in a room with a man this big and only a towel. I was like, this is deeply upsetting. And I didn't know anything about spas, so I didn't know I could ask for somebody else. So then he would stand outside the room. I didn't know I could turn to the receptionist and be like, do you have anybody else? This man is so big, and his hands, he had the biggest hand. Anyone can do with their life what they wish. I'm a very live and let live type person. But these are boxing hands. Like, these are not masseuse hands. Like, he will mess around and rearrange my guts the way his hands are so big. And so then he starts in on the massage. He's been massaging me for like a minute and a half. And he is making all the noises I'm supposed to be making. And it could not be more upsetting. This man is rubbing my back and going, what do you do now? Like, because I don't have enough bass in my voice, and I'm exposed. I'm wearing a towel. I'm naked. I'm not a homophobic person, but it was a homophobe's nightmare. This was genuinely distressing. I'm just in a towel, and he on my shoulders like, God dang. You ever just wish you had a gun? Like, it was horrible. But I can't complain. I really can't. Other people have had it way worse than me as far as Christmases go. I grew up in Louisiana, and I moved to Chicago after college, and I was working with a dude who told me about his Christmas. He said his most magical Christmas that he ever had was also his most traumatic, because he had done all of the Christmassy stuff, and he loved Christmas. It was his favorite holiday, right? And so he went to see Santa at the mall, and then he had laid the milk and cookies out with his parents for Santa. Now, he lived with his mom and his stepdad, and he didn't like his stepdad. He called his stepdad Darren. Full thing, all the time. Stepdad Darren, all the time, right? His dude was like, you can call me dad. He's like, I'm not gonna do that, stepdad Darren, all right? And so then he had laid the cookies out in the milk with his mom and stepdad Darren, and then he had put on his pajamas, washed up, kissed them both goodnight, gave stepdad Darren more of a pound. He wasn't really like, we're not close like that yet. And then he went to bed, and he was trying so hard to fall asleep. You know, like when you're little and you're trying your hardest to fall asleep so Santa can come, right? You're trying to knock yourself out because you don't want to mess this up. You've done everything. You've been good all year. You laid out the milk and cookies. You don't want to mess it up now by being awake. And as he was falling asleep, he heard steps on the roof, right? And so he's like, oh my God, that's Rudolph. That's the whole crew up there right now. Like, I gotta fall asleep. He's trying so hard to sleep. What was actually happening was the night before Christmas, his house was being robbed. All right? And so he hears the footsteps on the roof and everything, and he's laying there trying to get to sleep. But you gotta think about it from his perspective. He laid out the milk and cookies. He went to bed. He hears the footsteps on the roof. Then he hears some noises in the living room. It is Chicago. His stepdad had a gun, right? So his stepdad shot the intruder in the leg. So from his room, he hears, bam! Ah! Now, in his 9-year-old mind, he's just thinking about his stepdad having the gun. He's like, this dumbass done shot Santa. I'm not getting nothing for Christmas. This is bullshit. And I don't know what's more traumatic, what he thought happened or what they did next. Because then stepdad Darren is like, okay, this kid already hates me. And now he thinks that I shot Santa. So then he convinced my buddy's mom to let him show the dude in the living room bleeding. Right? So then he's like, no, buddy, I didn't shoot Santa. He's like, yeah, you shot Santa. I heard the gunshot. You shot Santa. And he's like, no, look. And then he opened the door, and there's just a man in the living room holding his thigh, like, ow, ow. And he's like, see, that's not Santa at all. He bleeding like a bitch. Santa don't even bleed like that. You all been so great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh. Y'all have a great night.